A very good morning to you. Welcome to the AM News here on Global TV. We're live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I'm Uyi Agmo. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has received in audience the former governors of Rivers and Ebonyi states, Nyesom Wike and David Umahi, respectively, as well as Senator Godswill Akpabio, the All Progressives APC's preferred candidate for the Senate presidency. This is the second time the former Rivers State governor will be visiting the president in 72 hours. While the agenda for the visit is unclear, it may not be unconnected with the leadership of the 10th National Assembly that will be inaugurated this month. The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC) on Monday night suspended their strike scheduled for Wednesday. The decision followed a meeting by the representatives of the federal government and the organized labor at the presidential villa over fuel subsidy removal, which ended at about 10:50 p.m. on Monday. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, who read the resolution of the outcome of the meeting, said they would reconvene on June 19th. According to him, the federal government, the TUC, and the NLC would establish a joint committee to review the proposal for any wage increase or award and establish a framework and timeline for the implementation. We'll bring you details of that story in the course of our broadcast today. Meantime, President Tinubu has tasked security and intelligence agencies in the country on the importance of sharing information and intelligence among themselves, saying hoarding such resources could be counterproductive in the fight against terrorism. The president spoke after undertaking a tour of the new Office of National Security Advisor and facilities at the National Counter-Terrorism Center, NCTC, in Abuja. While noting the efforts demonstrated in countering terrorism and the state-of-the-art facilities at both sites, President Tinubu highlighted the importance of backing such efforts with knowledge. He said his administration had recognized that in order to achieve economic revival, prosperity and development, security should be of utmost priority.
What I've seen here is a demonstration of intelligent effort to counter terrorism. It must be backed by knowledge. It's counterterrorism that is not backed by knowledge. It's not going to be of any service to any nation.
The president, who described the tour of facilities at the ONSA building as very important, expressed his willingness to do whatever is necessary to support the nation's security architecture.
We must focus, coordinate, share the information, share the intelligence, coordinate and work harder. Then you cannot hoard those information.
In his remarks, the National Security Advisor, Major General Babangana Mongono, retired, thanked the president for making the visit his first engagement outside the villa, saying it reinforces his commitment, dedication, and inflexible rigidity to ensuring that the security misfortunes of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and by extension the sub-region, are overcome within the shortest possible time.
I urge you, Mr. President, not to relent in the support you've been giving us psychologically as a result of the meeting we had with you on Thursday of last week. And we are compelled to note that all the agencies have started working assiduously towards realizing your objective.
Mongono pledged the total commitment and dedication of ONSA to ensuring that President Tinubu realizes the promises he made to the Nigerian people on security. Uyi Agmo, reporting for Global TV, Abuja. A total of 1,630 cases cutting across major offenses such as terrorism, kidnapping, armed robbery, banditry, and proliferation of firearms were recorded between January and May this year. Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, made this known during the June 2023 meeting of strategic police managers at the police headquarters in Abuja. According to the IGP, available data and crime analysis between January and May 2023 revealed the proof with a decline in incidences of major crimes recorded across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Kikelomo Okere completes the story.
The Inspector General of Police says 3,619 suspects were arrested for participation in various crimes across the country, while 316 victims of kidnapping were rescued during the same period, while 486 assisted firearms consisting of AK-47 rifle, locally
consisting of AK-47 rifles and locally fabricated automatic weapons were recovered. Equally, 4,072 assorted caliber of ammunition and other incriminating items linked to various major crimes were also recovered.
The IGP noted that regardless of the quantum of achievements recorded within the period under review, the successful democratic transitioning that happened on the 29th of May 2023 still remains prevailing and projected threat across the country, including the aftermath of the fuel subsidy removal with the emerging threat of industrial action.
We must redouble our efforts to maintain the needed peace and stability of our democracy. This is critically important as we also prepare for the nation's Democracy Day, which is called June 4th. In so doing, I charge you all to remain focused while monitoring the election tribunals and the proposed industrial action across the country. May it come into good. You must develop proactive crime management mechanisms to forestall any untoward acts from political and non-political actors who are bent on not allowing this country to stay in peace.
The police boss, however, stressed that the Nigerian police force will continue to leverage on the support of the federal government as the force reevaluates internal security dynamics and adapts the strategies towards ensuring that the current downward trend in crime across the country is sustained. Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News, Abuja.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has, in a meeting with striking health workers at the State House, urged them to work, promising to resolve their grievances. The president said his administration is committed to reviving and restoring public confidence in Nigeria's health sector, promising to resolve all identified problems plaguing the system for optimal performance. The Joint Health Workers Union, JOHESU, had embarked on an indefinite strike more than a week over demands for improved welfare. As we turn to other stories now, the Kwara State government has directed that work days be reduced from 5 to 3 per week for every worker in the state following the hike in transport fares from the removal of subsidy on petroleum motor spirit, otherwise called petrol. The State Head of Service, Mrs. Susan Oluwole, directed all heads of ministries, departments, and agencies of government to immediately work out a format indicating the alternating work days for each worker or division. Oluwole said that the government to ease on the public work and relieve them of the hardship being experienced as a result of the fuel subsidy removal announced by the federal government. The Senate has indicated that the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, AGF, over failure to repay short-term loans given to a ministry's department special funds accounts totaling 910 billion naira. The loans and debts arising from special funds accounts totaling that amount showed that the balances remained unpaid throughout the year, even though the loans were meant to be short-term. However, the Office of the Accountant General, in its response, claimed that several letters had been written to the Minister of Finance to authorize the settlement of the loans granted against the allocations of various MDAs affected. The International Air Transport Association, IATA, has revealed that Nigeria tops the list of countries in which airline funds have been blocked from repatriation, stating that Nigeria Airlines account for 68% worldwide. The Director General of IATA, Willie Walsh, in a statement said the airline's funds blocked from repatriation increased from $1.55 billion in April of 2022 to $2.27 billion in April 2023. The association warned that the rapidly rising levels of airline funds blocked from repatriation pose a challenge to airline connectivity in the affected markets, urging the government to work with the industry to resolve this situation. Airlines can continue to provide the connectivity that is vital to driving economic activity and job creation. The Air Transport Association listed the countries with the highest debts as Nigeria, Bangladesh, Algeria, Pakistan, and Lebanon. Walsh urged the federal government to abide by international agreements and treaty obligations to enable airlines to repatriate their funds from ticket sales, space, and other activities. The 9th National Assembly, which was inaugurated on June 11, 2019, will wind down this week. The House of Representatives will hold its valedictory session on Tuesday, while the Senate will have its own on Wednesday. Senate President FLAUOUR is expected to adjourn sitting at the Red Chamber indefinitely, while the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, will close the Green Chamber on Thursday. The 10th Assembly is built for inauguration on the 13th of June 2023, when a new set of presiding officers will either be adopted or elected. You're watching the AM News here on Global TV, coming to you live on Star Times Channel 276 from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. You can follow us across social media platforms at Global TV NG. We have more stories for you right after this break. Do stay with us. Thank you for staying with us on the AM News here on Global TV. Members and non-members of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC Plus, have agreed to cut crude oil production volumes in order to ensure global oil market stability, but allowed Nigeria, Congo, and Angola to continue to reduce maximally to their OPEC quota of 2023. Saudi Arabia, a major oil producer and key member of OPEC, made an additional voluntary cut of 1 million barrels of oil per day as part of a deal struck by OPEC Plus after hours of intense haggling. Nigeria and other OPEC and non-OPEC members have continued to meet at the 35th Joint Ministerial Monitoring Committee meeting of OPEC held in Vienna, Austria on Sunday. The Nigerian head of delegation told the meeting, said in a statement, that OPEC had also agreed to allow these countries to continue to produce maximally to their OPEC quota of 2023. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) has expressed its determination to deepen and diversify the capital markets in a bid to create more wealth for investors and Nigerians, as well as stimulate economic growth. Director General of SEC, Mr. Lamido Yuguda, said in a bid to develop the markets, they saw the need to have a forum where the Commission could interface with issuers in a bid to discourage delisting, thereby engaging the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, NECA, and setting up the Securities Issuers Forum. Yuguda said that the Commission is working hard to look at the various issues and ensure that the problem of delisting by companies is brought under check. As we jump to the foreign scene now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has called the killing of 3 soldiers by a member of the Egyptian Security Services a terrorist attack and demanded full joint investigation with Cairo. Egypt says it is working with Israel to investigate the incident, which occurred on Saturday. Netanyahu, in a televised message, said the Egyptian government that the aspect of the joint investigation will be exhaustive and thorough. Kenya has closed its diplomatic mission in the Sudanese capital, Khartoum, as clashes intensify between the rival military forces. The foreign ministry said the mission had remained open to support the evacuation of Kenyan citizens, but was now closed as it had come under threat from the fighting. Nairobi has been supporting African initiatives to end the conflict between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary Rapid Response Forces, RSF. And in sports, the head coach of Flying Eagles, Ladan Bosso, has refused to blame his players after they were eliminated from the ongoing 2023 FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Argentina. The Flying Eagles dominated the match but fell to the axe in the hands of the Turgic Warriors of Korea in extra time. The gaffer praised his players for their impressive performance in the game. Bosso, however, claims the Flying Eagles were poor in converting their chances. South Korea will now face Italy on Thursday. Enigmatic Swede Zlatan Ibrahimovic has decided to call time on a trophy-laden career that saw him representing Malmo, Ajax, Juventus, Inter, Barcelona, PSG, United, and the LA Galaxy, and winning league titles in the Netherlands, Spain, France, and Italy across his 24 years in professional football, scoring 511 goals in 866 club games, as well as 62 in 122 for his country. The striker, whose AC Milan contract expires at the end of June, was all teary before Milan fans as they played their final game of the season against Hellas Verona at the San Siro on Sunday. Following an injury-plagued season, the ex-Manchester United and Paris Saint-Germain star made just 4 appearances in all competitions in the just concluded campaign and last featured against Udinese in March 18. It is not known whether lies store for the legendary attacker. However, it's safe to say that he will not be jumping into the dungeon anytime soon. 35-year-old Real Madrid forward Karim Benzema has reached an agreement and will sign a 2-year deal with reigning Saudi Pro League champions Al Ittihad. The former France international joined Spanish heavyweight champion Real Madrid from his hometown club Leon in 2009 and has made 658 appearances, scoring 354 goals. In the process, the former Leon striker scored his second-half penalty to end Madrid a draw in their final league match of the season against Athletic Bilbao in Sunday and finished the season with 31 goals and 6 assists in 43 games in all competitions. An institutional act of homage and farewell has been scheduled to hold tomorrow at Real Madrid Sports City for the current Ballon d'Or champion, and club president Florentino Perez has been reported to attend. As we end the AM news, just to thank you so especially for watching. I'm Uyag Mofwegbe. We have more news for you at 12. In the meantime, we will begin Global Morning. Have a great day ahead of you.